about we had about 6 people that were registered, so some might pop in a little bit later, but just for the sake of time, we don't want to hold you up. But we keep it pretty casual with these sessions, especially when we have a smaller group. So really how we'll run it is we have Dr. David Jones here with us, who is one of our MBA faculty members, and he can definitely answer any questions that y'all have to start out about the program, requirements, what you can expect from classes, just really anything that's specific to the MBA program itself and what you can expect as a student going through the program. He is here to answer any of those questions for you. And then Sarah, I know we've kind of gone through all of the admission requirements already, so you're pretty familiar with that. So we usually at the tail end of the session go over, again, admission requirements, financial aid, any of those kinds of questions that you might have. So if you can't tune in for the whole time, you're welcome to leave when you need to. We're also recording this session just to let y'all know. So for students that weren't able to join us, we'll probably send this recording to them to hopefully, give them the information that they need as well. But just to introduce myself to Logan, because I haven't met you yet. My name is Nichole Siemering, and I serve as one of the enrollment counselors for our Hickory campus. And then here with me is Jan Wolff, who is also our enrollment counselor for the Asheville campus. Also, if you're looking to apply for the distance option, she'll be working with you through your application as well. So yeah, Jan, do you want to say anything else about yourself or?
No, that's all right. So I guess I'll be working with you, Logan, if you're going to be doing the distance or online part of the program. What area of for the MBA, or is there a concentration you were thinking of or anything?
I was looking at the business analytics track off the bat. So I really, one of the courses that I think it said you would be eligible to sit for the PMP exam afterward. So that really caught my eye.
Right, wonderful.
But then I was also interested in, I don't know, I didn't major in accounting in undergrad. I did economics, so I don't know if I could do the MBA in accounting concentration, but I am interested in getting more, more experience with accounting, because my only prior experience is financial accounting. Those are the only formal classes I've taken, so.
All right, wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also joined by Melvin. So yeah.
So
Melvin,
Melvin is our graduate assistant. Yeah, he's our graduate assistant for our Hickory campus. So yeah, and a current student in our MBA program. So he's here if you have any questions and want to hear from a current student as well. Okay, and Dr. Jones, I'll let you introduce yourself if you'd like to, and then we can kind of roll from there. And two, feel free to, if you have questions and you want to just chat them, or you can, since it's a small group, we encourage you to just kind of unmute if you have something that you want to ask too.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Dr. David Jones. I'm the interim dean of the College of Business and Economics at Lenoir-Rhyne. I'm also the de facto MBA coordinator. Why am I de facto, Logan or Sarah? This is your first test. Why am I de facto?
It was forced on you.
Exactly. I don't have anybody else to do it, right? But actually, in all seriousness, I am serious, but I've been primarily with the MBA program since my arrival at Lenoir-Rhyne in 2012. I've had primary responsibilities in Asheville, but I've been driving up and down the road to Hickory for the past 10 years and been very involved with the MBA for all my 10 years with Lenoir-Rhyne. So, I'm kind of excited when I hear people talk about the business analytics and information technology track. And the reason I'm excited about that is because there's so much of data and analytics that's used in every single thing now. I don't know if anybody on this call keeps up with athletics, but the Los Angeles Chargers have a coach that believes in analytics, and he saw that 54% of the time on 4th and 1, if you go for it, you get it. Well, they did it on their own 18 and they missed the playoffs. So it doesn't always work. You have to know how to apply the analytics, and that's what we hope to bring to you. So that's an excellent concentration, if you will. What I want to mention to both Sarah and Logan are, your degree is the MBA. So concentration is not necessary. If you want it, fine. If you don't, you can just get a general MBA and take whatever courses you want as electives. Now, the accounting thing, Logan, you can still do the accounting concentration. The Professor Green, our lead accounting instructor, does his managerial accounting class as though people don't have, for instance, like a huge background. You need to have some background, but not a huge background in accounting. And he does prepare you for the other 4 courses that you would eventually take in accounting. Now, accounting is a little bit unique from a concentration only because there are 2 classes offered every other summer. So unlike any other concentration, you may see classes in the spring or fall. You're only going to see the concentration classes in accounting every other summer. So you'll want to keep up with that. And it's not a big deal. I'll probably be your advisor and you just say, hey, when are these accounting classes coming up? So it's no big deal. As far as the project management class with the business analytics and information technology track is one that you technically, because we teach out of the PMBOK, which is part of the Project Management Institute's guide text, if you will, you will have the academic background and the required number of hours academically to sit for the certified assistant project manager. Okay. You still have to apply to them, so you have to give them a resume and whatnot. If you've had project management experience, you may, instead of assistant, you may actually get the certified project manager exam. I think you have to pay $300. And anyway, I don't want you to misunderstand. You'll be eligible, but it's through the Project Management Institute. It's not actually through Lenoir-Rhyne. There is one more step, but you won't have to go get any more academic education to do it. Does that make sense, Logan and Sarah? And Melvin, what's your concentration, Melvin? Do you have one?
Yeah. I'm actually taking that class right now myself, and I didn't know that. But my concentration is data analytics and IT. So
okay, excellent. So you've got it now with Dr. Gerald.
Yes, Billy Gerald.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Yeah, Dr. Gerald, she's the person teaching that particular class. She's a senior executive CFO for she's probably pretty busy right now because she's with a global defense contractor. So they're probably selling a lot of weaponry right now. So, but she's actually in San Diego, that particular person. So, but she does a great job with the class, and our undergrads are required to take project management. Graduates don't have to. So but it is one of those that I see a lot of value in. But anyway, I know you said introduce myself, and I've been rambling, Nichole and Jan. But I've got the mic, so mute me if you want to. Just so you both know, this is a 36-hour program, so there's 12 courses. 8 of the courses are required. And 4 of the courses, like I said, you can either do a concentration or you can just do a general MBA and take what you want to take. Maybe you don't need a concentration in analytics, but you want to take project management. So take project management. You may want to take an entrepreneurship course or a leadership course. So anyway, that's stuff you can talk to your advisor about. And be honest with you, your advisor is going to be me or Dr. Griffith Ralph Griffith, one of us too, today anyway. And, you know, if anybody else gets advisees for the MBA, then you'll know that person as well. So you can reach out to us anytime. We'll be glad to help you. Our classes, the way we deliver them, is basically, we kind of call it the any way you want it model, which was we instituted about 7 years ago. This had nothing to do with COVID. This had to do with working adults. So we really allow our MBA students, you can come to class, physically sit down in the classroom with the instructor on campus, or you can Zoom like we're doing now. We call this synchronous learning. Or you can take the program completely online to where you never step foot in a classroom. Totally your choice. And we do that. We built that out 7 years ago for working adults, because we'd have people get promoted, for instance, and they would transfer and they weren't close to a campus. And you want somebody to be able to continue, because when it comes to transferring graduate, you know, all anybody takes is about 6 hours. So we would have people at the 18, 24-hour range, and, you know, they're stuck with a bunch of credits. And I personally didn't like that. So I'm like, what can we do to help these students out? So we put a model in place 7 years ago, and a couple of years ago, the whole world went to our model. How about that? Are we innovative and creative? Yes, we are. And we would be me. That's right. I said it. So anyway, that's right. I get extra points for cockiness and arrogance, right? So we have a wonderful group of folks that bring the MBA to you as far as your instructors, and Melvin can speak to that if he wants to. We're like no different than undergrad. I mean, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. You know, some professors will challenge the hound out of you, and some of them, you know, you might be like, well, I learned how to do a resume in 8th grade. Well, yeah, but your resume still sucks. So guess what? You get to learn to do it again. Okay. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Did that come out? So anyway, I'll be quiet, and anybody who wants to ask a question, or Melvin, if you want to talk about your experience, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I can talk about my experience. So I joined the MBA program August of 20. And at first I didn't have the concentration. And then, you know, speaking with my advisor and other, I guess, people that's part of the MBA program, you know, I decided to choose that path. And, you know, like Dr. Jones said, it's what you make it. Some of the stuff you already learned in undergrad, and some of the stuff is completely new to you, but it's still a great learning experience. Like you say, it's at your own pace. You can take classes online. I know I do. I took a class in class before, and I mean, he seemed like he said everything already. I don't know how to sell the program to you guys, but yeah, it's been a great experience. And I could say when you have the conversations with your advisor, that those are very meaningful conversations, because I know specifically for me, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And, you know, I probably still won't know what I want to do once I graduate, but I feel like this is a stepping stone for you to, you know, learn more about yourself. So that's pretty much it. Like you said, it's a 36-hour program, 12 classes. You can pick any class you want. And if you're not sure about a concentration, really don't, you know, put too much pressure on yourself about that. You'll figure it out when you first take those first 8 classes and figure out, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want to learn about. So that's my experience so far, and I enjoy it. So.
Well, thanks, Melvin. And yeah, for instance, like accounting, you know, debits are debits and credits are credits. It doesn't change because you get into the MBA. But how do you apply some of the things? That's really what we hope we bring to the table. is, how can you use this? How do you apply it? Not just do you know the terms? Okay, one goes on the left, one goes on the right. Well, what happens if you have too many on the right versus the left? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What's it do to your company? And a couple things too. I usually don't mention this, and I'm not trying to sell you folks on anything, but we have a pretty good network also. We don't have the footprint of University of North Carolina or something like that, but we still have a pretty good footprint. And, I've never really had this conversation with Melvin, but I'll put it out there now and he can reach out to me later if he wants. If anybody wants to work in Florida, darn near anywhere, but certainly in the Tampa area, my son is a senior loan underwriter for a $15 billion credit union, and he's always looking for analysts. So if somebody does have that analytics and information technology piece, I would certainly put you in touch with him. You played football, didn't you, Melvin? Well, Grayson, which is he's our quarterback for 11 years or something. He's been in contact with my son many times. I know he went to Charlotte, but all I'm getting at is we'll do anything we can to help you. We don't always have an answer. We don't always have an opening into a company that you might want to work for, but we'll do what we can to help build those networks and to keep you in the loop. So if you're not in the career you want to be in, we'll try to help with that. But anyway.
Also to add to that, we do have, networking opportunities as well. I was actually in this virtual career fair about 2 weeks ago. It was Haynes Company, Hickory brands, Williams-Sonoma, just the local brands, and Cintas. Basically, people want to come to LR and definitely recruit students to work for their company and stay in the area. So, if you're looking for career opportunities, they're definitely here. I know I just had an interview today from Williams-Sonoma, and I'm in grad school and I work here. So it's possible for you to definitely look for a career that you want to be in.
Yeah, I've got her card right here from Williams-Sonoma when they were here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned Haynes brands. The senior VP of Haynes in HR got her MBA from us, a few minutes ago. And we have a lot of our graduates working there. And right now in the MBA is a VP of HR in the MBA with Haynes that is she's kind of being groomed, I think, to maybe take over that senior VP role. So we've got some good LR connections, and Haynes is a global, it's not local, it's global. Anyway, I said I was going to be done. That's twice I said I'll shut up. I'm shutting up.
No, I think this is all super helpful information and definitely gives our prospective students and students that have been accepted already a good idea of what to expect. So any information you can give is helpful. Sarah and Logan, did y'all have any specific questions that we can maybe answer today with Dr. Jones or Melvin about the program?
I'm at the beginning of the process, so I guess I'm more interested in the overall application process, where to start, or do I need to do any testing or?
Yeah, so we can definitely cover that with you. We no longer require the GRE or the GMAT for admission. So I always say if there is any positive thing that COVID brought to us, it was our decision to waive that. So
That's amazing.
We no longer require it for admission. And Sarah, I know you kind of heard all of this before, but basically the process is submitting your application. We offer admission for fall, spring, and summer, so you can start anytime with our MBA program, and the application is still open for summer. And with that, it's an online application, and then we ask for students to submit a resume, essay, all of your official transcripts from your previous institutions, and then one letter of recommendation. So it would need to be either a professional recommendation if you're applying through our career admission track, or a academic letter of recommendation. Say maybe if you're fresh out of your undergraduate experience and have a faculty member or professor that could write that for you. So, but like I said, we can definitely cover that, more information about our admission requirements and everything in just a little bit too. So.
And the synchronous learning via Zoom, do you know what times those classes usually meet during the week? Is it
6 to 9.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Dr. J,
basically,
oh,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. I was
Yeah, I
going
was
to
gonna
say, do you
say-
want to talk about how the classes are offered? I guess,
Yeah, basically we offer classes 6 to 9 Monday through Thursday. We don't normally do, I don't remember the last time we did a Friday class. We did them when we first started in Asheville 10 years ago. That lasted one semester. I'm the only person that I know of that's ever done Saturday classes. It seemed like the students kind of liked it because they didn't have to come straight from work or, have a 12 or 13 hour day. But anyway, those are the only ones that I know that weren't Monday through Thursday. Now, another part of our model that's beneficial is you can take 2 classes at the same time, technically, on Tuesday night, for instance. Say there's a conflict. Well, you choose the class that you want to take live, and then you take the other class online. So you never really have to miss a class and wait a semester if something's being offered that you want. Did that work for you, Melvin?
Yeah, that made perfect sense. I know that's how my situation was this semester. She gave us the option to be online or be live or even be in the class. So, you got all 3 options. You can take it, like I said, hybrid or online or just be in person. And it works out perfectly. Like David Jones said, the ball is in our park when it comes to classes and stuff. So.
I have a couple questions.
Sure, sir.
So what would you say the work class require, like outside of work, or outside of class work requirement? Like how much time would you spend during the week?
That's a great question. And I'll be honest with you, it is the most difficult question to answer.
Mhm.
Because, realistically, for instance, take accounting. If you're strong in accounting, that's of benefit, but the problems that you work through still take a long time to work. What I tell people is total dedication to a class should probably be in about the 10 to 12 hour range per week per class, counting class time. Now, does that mean that every single class you're going to? No. Some classes you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I got this,
Mhm.
and you spend an hour. Some classes, you're going to spend more. If you're taking, something that's heavy on the math side, stats or something, you may have to work a lot harder and longer at it than the person sitting next to you in class. This is really more of a Melvin question. I know I jumped in, but I'm asked that every single time we have an open house, and it is just so difficult to answer. And plus experience depends on certain things too. Like, I've got marketing directors in the MBA. Well, they may not be super challenged in the marketing class because we teach it as an overview for everybody as so at least everybody has some expertise. But does that make sense? And go ahead, Melvin.
Yeah, to add to that, like I know with my finance background, like managerial accounting, even though I was familiar with it, I know, like he said, most of those classes that require math, it's going to take a little bit extra time just because, you know, it's a lot of steps that you got to follow. It's not right there in front of you. And then, but being a business major in undergrad and coming to grad school, it's a lot of things that you can relate. I know a trick that I use. It's like if I find this idea from another class, I can apply it to this class and vice versa. And usually that 10 to 12 hours, like he said, it's not for every class. Like project management may take longer compared to, I don't know, leadership or whatever
Yeah, it
class
does.
you take into. Yeah, so yeah, but you know, it's about the time and effort that you put in, you know, and it's the pace that you want to, you know, take. For me, I take 2 classes per semester. That's just for me because I know I have other responsibilities. You know, for you it may be 3. Past 3, I wouldn't push it past 3 because that'd be kind of challenging.
Yeah.
But you know, up to 3 classes per semester, I would definitely recommend that because it's not undergrad. It takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more focus. And you know, you stay on the big goal at the end of the day that you want to obtain a 2nd degree, you know, you'll definitely meet your goals. And also you got people that's in the MBA program that you know or may not know. Like I saw, are you coming here for a sport or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing volleyball.
So you may have like teammates that's part of the MBA program as well. You know, you can have a conversation, you can create your own study group in that way, you know, somebody that you already met in person. But yeah, to answer your question, it take about 10 to 12 hours, give or take. It depends on the class. So,
You know, and I know you had another question too, Sarah, but in keeping with that, you know, volleyball, you know, football, any of the athletics, it's almost like you have a job. You know, an MBA is set up, or a part-time MBA program is set up with that in mind. And don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that, you know, students are what needs to come first, the student part for, you know, from an academic standpoint. But we have 40-year-old professionals. You know, we had a chief medical officer at a regional hospital down here as an MBA student. So that person is not only, yeah, I'm going to be a little melodramatic here. He's not just saving lives all day. He leaves work and then he comes to class, and he's had 5 children. You know, dude had a lot of responsibility, a lot on his plate, but he needed what the MBA offered. Now he was able to survive it and get through it. And, you know, so I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, we keep that in mind, but unlike a full-time MBA program where all you do is go to school, you know, it's going to take you some time. You're going to have to, you know, put some serious time in and focus. But my point is, it's manageable. We wouldn't get 40-year-old physicians that went to Vanderbilt that are chief medical officers if it wasn't something that they could do. And right now I've got a vet, not a veteran, but a veterinarian. So she's got her doctorate already, and I don't know what she does all day. What's she do, Jan? Whatever vets do.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah, so she does something with animals all day, and then she's coming to class at night. So all I'm getting at is, you know, it's tough, but you can do it.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then my follow-up question. So I like in-person classes. I would like to be like in person as much as possible, but with volleyball, I'm assuming that practices will be a little bit earlier, but with games and stuff. So how does that work if I do choose to take in-person classes, but then I have missing for games and stuff?
Well, because of the way we do our model, those don't count as absences.
Okay.
If we were 100% seated, then whether you represent the university or not, those add up as absences. So just tell your professor, you know, say, hey, here's my schedule. we're going to be gone. And I know volleyball is kind of like, it's not as bad as softball and baseball, but there's a ton of games. You know, so if you do have to travel, just let them know. I know a lot of student athletes try to do some of the work on the buses because they have Wi-Fi, but I live 100 miles from here up in the mountains. And when they get by my exit, the Wi-Fi gets really shoddy. So if you're going to East Tennessee for a game to like Carson Newman or something, your Wi-Fi is going to go out. So plan ahead. Talk to your teammates and make sure you can get your work done if you're going to try to do it on the bus. But all I'm getting at is that's not the face-to-face class time, but use your time wisely. Instead of sleeping or listening to music on the bus, do some homework.
And also, to add to that, I think the hardest challenge I had so far in grad school was working with a group. Like you said, we got people I think I forgot her name, Lauren McDonald. I think she's like the vice president of HR, the senior vice president of HR at Haynes. And she has a whole family and she's running a whole company. And
she's got expectations that a 23-year-old doesn't have.
Exactly. She got expectations, way more responsibilities than we do. And the biggest thing is work and continue to communicate. Because at the end of the day, it's everybody grade, but if you develop, it helps you like develop your leadership skills. You say somebody's not doing their part on the project or not communicating or not showing up, you can have that side conversation like, hey, we can help you out, or we can make time. You got to be very flexible in that way, and really think outside the box sometimes to reach the ultimate goal at the end of the day. So you may encounter that, but I would say that's probably the most difficult, well, not difficult, the biggest challenge that I had so far in grad school, just working with other people that have these different responsibilities and trying to find the same time to be on the same page.
And it is difficult. I know some of you know Dr. Lesser. A few years back, Dr. Lesser, she teaches finance and economics for us. She actually went and got another master's degree. And she did that at Northeastern University in Boston. And after she was put into groups, as much of a nightmare as that was for her, she said, I'll never put students in a group again. So, but I hear all the time, quite frankly, because as the dean or even as the MBA coordinator or whatever, I do hear from students that it's really difficult sometimes for the groups to connect. But I'm telling you, and Melvin's 100% right. You have to communicate, you have to make the effort, you have to try. That'll be the most difficult thing with a travel schedule, Sarah. Where are you now? I see, because you must be at some college now, right?
Yeah, I'm at Avery University in Danville, Virginia right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right up the road, right up 77.
Yep.
Sort of. Okay, cool.
Dr. Jones, could you speak just a little bit to the, I guess, course prerequisites and just like fill them in on that a little bit? I had talked to Sarah a little bit about it, but just for any students that might not be coming directly from an like a business major,
Sure.
What we can do for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, we don't have a program. We don't have program prereqs, but we have kind of like course prereqs. And that's accounting, finance, economics, and we want you to have taken stats. A lot of times people will get stats through a psychology class or something such as that, or not a psychology class, but psychology degrees a lot of times will have statistics. Public health has statistics, so it's not foreign to everybody. But you don't have to come in here having those already taken. We have a thing called IV software where you can take these either assessment tests or you can take little online courses with IV software. It's not through Lenoir-Rhyne, but we'll accept those as prereqs. Now, here's the point. The point is we don't want to set you up to fail. What's not going to work is you get into the accounting course and say, oh, I've never had accounting, therefore you need to slow down and let me catch up or teach me one-on-one. We, at the graduate level, we expect everybody to have a basic understanding. So we make these available to you. So if you're going to start in the fall, for instance, you can take all your IB software over the summer and just get them knocked out. Now, you're not going to be an expert in accounting when you take these IB software courses, but it's cheaper and quicker than if you went to the community college and took a whole course in accounting, for instance. Does that make sense?
And those are self-paced, right? So they can.
They are. And all I really get notified on is that you finished. I don't know whether you failed a quiz with them or not. You pay your $100 to them, and when you're done, I get a report saying you're finished. So whether it takes you a weekend or whether it takes you 6 weeks doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you get those in before you take those other courses. And that's just to familiarize yourself with the subject matter. We don't want to lose anybody. I mean, we want to work with you, so we make that available.
All righty.
How'd I do, Nichole?
That was good. That was perfect. Sarah, Logan, do you happen to have any other questions for Dr. Jones or Melvin about the program? I think we covered a good bit. But
I don't have any more. Thank you guys for that information.
yeah.
Thanks, Logan.
All righty. Well, for the sake of time, I will go over just a little bit about admission information and a little bit about financial aid. Logan, that way you have it moving forward. Sarah, I know we've kind of gone through that. You're welcome to hang on, but my feelings won't be hurt if you leave. But thank you, Dr. Jones, for being with us. I'll let you cut out. You don't have to say, and same for Melvin. He's already been through this process, so he's good to go.
Thanks, Sarah and Logan. Reach out to me if I can be of any assistance.
Same here.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you. Okay, so since we have a pretty small group, I normally go through a PowerPoint because I'm very much a visual person. I always think that helps, but I'll just cover the main things. I won't go through the whole thing, and then I can definitely email this to anybody who wants access to it. We'll try to keep our session at 1 o'clock. That way we don't take too much time, but feel free to interrupt me if you do have questions as I'm going, because sometimes I get carried away. But let me just share my screen real quick and then we'll get rolling. Share. All right, Jan, can you see that? Okay, cool. All right. So this just goes over a little bit about Lenoir-Rhyne University as an institution, or mission, or vision. I won't spend too much time reading over this. Also, when we do these sessions, we love to hear a little bit, about why our applicants are choosing to pursue graduate school, and particularly our MBA program. But like I said, for the sake of time, I won't make y'all share that. Sarah, I know we've talked about it already. So, but these are definitely a lot of the reasons why we find that our students decide to come to graduate school, and then particularly choose to join us here at LR. So, I know Dr. Jones had highlighted a little bit of this information for y'all already. But we do offer our MBA program on our Hickory campus, our Asheville campus, and then online and at a distance. So we have students that do our MBA program from all over the place. But then if you are like Sarah and you do want some of those face-to-face classes, we offer them in Hickory and in Asheville, North Carolina. Your typical class size is going to be, it might change as you go through the program. You might find that some of your classes are a little bit smaller, maybe they're bigger one semester, but on average around 15 to 20 students per class. And then most students, like Melvin was saying, will take 6 to 9 credit hours a semester. So 9 credit hours is definitely a full-time course load. 6 credit hours is going to be more part-time. Just know that for financial aid purposes, if you do just want to take one class, which we have students that do that, you do have to, or excuse me, if you take one class, financial aid will not cover the cost. So in order to be eligible for financial aid, you have to be enrolled in at least 2 classes or 6 credit hours a semester. So these are all of the academic programs that we offer here at Lenoir-Rhyne. These are just some highlights of our Hickory campus. So I still got to update this picture, Jan, but our graduate admissions offices are located in the Cloninger House on campus, which is this gray building, which is now bright red. We just had it renovated. So you can't miss it on campus, but this is where our offices are located if you ever want to plan a campus visit with us. And then our Asheville Center is located in the Chamber of Commerce building on the 2nd and 3rd floors in downtown Asheville, and has amazing views. So it's definitely a beautiful area to be in if you're interested in heading up the mountain. So. As far as your schedule, Dr. Jones had highlighted this pretty well, I feel like, and same with Melvin, but your classes, so if they are a synchronous class, they're going to be in the evenings to help accommodate for students that are working during the day. It's likely that your classes might meet once per week, maybe once every other week. It really just depends on the course you're taking. And then I know in the summer they do offer some classes in the form of a mini term. So it's like a shortened intensive class. So really, I think there's a lot of truth behind our MBA program, you know, being any way that you need it, any way that you want it. So there's a lot of flexibility with the MBA program and how the courses are offered. So we strongly encourage you to just talk with your advisor, let them know. They only know as much as what you share with them. So if there's any advice I can give to prospective grad students, it's being honest and open with your advisors about what you have going on. That way they can kind of work your schedule and help you plan classes that are going to be best for you to take in that semester. Okay. So the application, I know I mentioned this a little bit per Logan's question, but it is an online application. So the first step is creating your account. You can go to the main LR website and go to graduate admission, and then start your application from there. Once you've created your account, you'll select the campus location that you're applying to. So that could be Hickory, Asheville, or online. I used this for my counseling PowerPoint. Ignore that clinical or school comment on there. I forgot to take that out. So that is for counseling, not MBA. But you can select Hickory, Asheville, or online for your campus location. When you apply, we can waive your application fee. So normally that fee is $35 to apply. But if you use the code LRGrad22, that will waive that fee for you. So perks of being in the session today. And then we have two application tracks. So one is a traditional track and one is career admission track. So the main difference is our career admission track is more suited for students that have been out of school for a while, have really established themselves in the workplace, and have at least 4 to 6 years of professional work experience to contribute to their application. So if you fall under that category, we encourage you to apply for our career admission track. And really the only difference is, again, for our traditional admission track students that may be fresh out of undergrad and still have those connections with your faculty and professors from your previous institutions. We encourage you to submit an academic letter of recommendation. And then for those that are in the workforce and have been for a bit, we typically ask for a professional letter of recommendation from a supervisor or employer. When you apply, we will ask for all of your official transcripts from your previous institution. So that we get the question quite often, do I have to submit each individual transcript? And the answer is yes. So if you attended any or earned any community college credits or did any additional work prior to your four-year institution, we need each individual transcript sent to us, and it can be sent electronically or by mail. So here are the application deadlines. So we are still accepting applications for the summer if you are interested in starting for that term, and that will be May 1st. The deadline for for fall will be August 1st. And then if you're looking ahead for spring of 23, that deadline will be December 1st. So we can work with students after these deadlines if maybe we don't have your transcript in yet, or we're waiting on one thing for your application, but we strongly encourage you to have your application completed by this date. And we always say sooner is always better, especially for registration purposes too, because we want to set you up for success and make sure that it's a smooth process for enrollment. Okay, so again, here are our admission requirements. So of course, the application, our minimum GPA requirement is a cumulative 2.7. So that's the minimum GPA that we look for when you apply. Again, we'll need all of your official transcripts, one letter of recommendation. We do have students that sometimes request more than one, and you can do that. But just know that we just need that one. So we usually say don't create more work for yourself unless you want to. And then, of course, the academic versus professional with each of the tracks. We ask for a resume, an essay, and we no longer require the GRE or the GMAT. So for the essay, we look for about 2 pages, double spaced, really, and that's the opportunity for you to tell us your story. So why are you applying to the MBA program, and particularly here with us at Lenoir-Rhyne University? Why do you feel like you'd be successful in our program? You can talk about any life, career, education experiences that may have led you to the decision to apply. And then also any future goals or career aspirations that you have for yourself and how our program might help you in achieving those. So that's kind of a guideline that I give. You might find that the prompt on the website is pretty vague, but that leaves it open for you to make that essay your own and really tell us what you hope for us to know about you as a student, as a person, and as a professional. So. And then lastly, everybody's favorite part of the conversation is cost and financial aid. And so this is kind of a little breakdown of, or a general idea of what our program is going to entail as far as costs. So with our MBA program, the cost is applied by the credit hour each semester. So for the 2022-2023 academic year, the cost is $710 per credit hour. So just keep that in mind when you're, scheduling classes, that it is $710 per credit hour. As far as financial aid is concerned, our business office, so say you're coming in and you do not want to take out financial aid, our business office does offer payment plans for students. So especially for students that just want to take one class at a time. You can work with our business office to schedule out a payment plan that works for you. But we find that a good majority of our students do apply for federal financial aid or other types of loan options. So with federal aid, you would file your FAFSA, and then graduate students can receive up to $20,500 per academic year with the direct unsubsidized loan. So that does go a long way as paying for your tuition cost. And then really with our MBA program, the only other additional costs that you might need to consider, depending on your situation, is the cost of textbooks. And then if you do need to take those IB software courses, I think that would be the only additional fee that would be included, or something that you might need to account for. So in addition, if you do need additional aid, aside from that direct unsubsidized loan, there's also what's called the Graduate Plus loan. That loan helps bridge the gap between your cost of attendance and additional financial aid that you're receiving. Jan and I have a document of these financial aid options that we can send to you as well if you need. We do get the question, are there any institutional grants or scholarships that graduate students can apply for? Unfortunately, our answer to that is not currently. But if we do hear of any financial opportunities, scholarships, grants, our faculty are pretty good about sending that information out. And then we try to send that out too if we receive word of anything. So there's private loan options. There's also loan options through CFNC, so the North Carolina Student Assist Loan. That loan has no prepayment, origination, or application fees associated with it. And then, yeah, those are the main things as far as paying for your tuition and then financial aid. Other suggestions for paying for your education. So we do have what are called graduate assistantship positions, mainly on our Hickory campus, but these are positions that students can apply for to work about 20 hours per week for a department on campus in order to receive a certain amount of tuition remission. So it's kind of similar to like a work study concept in the sense that your hours that you're working for go directly towards helping with your tuition costs. So most of those positions, at least last year, covered up to, it depends on the position, but 15 credit hours each year. So a lot of students would split that, 6 credit hours in the fall, 6 in the spring, and then 3 in the summer that they would receive in tuition remission. So it's a really great opportunity to make connections on campus, but also help with that cost as well. I'll say those positions can be very limited, and we don't know how many will be available each year. Most of them are posted on our employment website, usually in late May, early June for the fall semester. So if you go to the LR website and search employment, those will be listed there once they are posted. We have an LR Partners program. So this is a tuition discount program where students that work for our partnered agencies, businesses, school systems receive a tuition discount through us if they choose to come to one of our grad programs. So this could be a 10, 15, or 20% discount if your business or workplace is partnered with us. So definitely if you have questions, just let Jan or myself know. And we apply that discount to your account once you are enrolled. And then lastly, our Alumni Advantage discount, that is strictly for our undergraduate students that graduate from Lenoir-Rhyne and continue into one of our grad programs. They can receive a 10, 15, or 20% discount as well. And then here is just a little bit more information about applying for federal aid. So you have your, again, the $20,500 that you can get with the direct and subsidized loan. You would go in and file your FAFSA. Trying to think of anything else. I think that's pretty much covers most of that. And then here are just some MBA program highlights. So of course, all of our concentrations that we currently offer. Dr. David Jones, who y'all got to meet today. And then if you have any questions, we are here to support you in any way that we can. So here is my contact information. Again, if you're applying to the Hickory campus, if you're applying to the Asheville campus or our online program, Jan will be working with you through your application. And then Dr. Jones is always happy to talk with our prospective students as well. If there's anything you want to know about the program. As he mentioned, he will likely be your advisor. He's definitely your initial advisor when you start registering for your first semester. So you'll work with him, and he's pretty great. He is really helpful and really wants students to succeed going through the program. So I think that's a benefit of us being a smaller institution, as we're pretty close with our faculty here. So don't hesitate to reach out to him if you need anything. But yeah, so those are the main admission requirements, a little brief overview of financial aid. We'll mention too, once you're enrolled, Jan and I will work with you. So say you're accepted and submit your deposit and you're enrolled, we will work with you as far as orientation, getting registered for classes. We'll send you that information. Classes for the summer are going to start May 23rd. And then classes for the fall are going to start August 22nd. So kind of keep that timeline in mind. And yeah, that was a lot. But Sarah, Logan, do y'all have any other questions that maybe we didn't cover today?
I don't. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And it's 1:02, so just 2 minutes after. I
Yay,
tried, I
perfect.
promise. But I will be glad to send y'all this PowerPoint if you need it. Again, we've recorded this session, so if you need this as a refresher, we can send it to you. Jan, is there anything you want to add or anything I
can't think
didn't
of
mention?
anything. Yeah, I think you covered everything. Yeah, I think Dr. Jones did as well. So yeah. If y'all think of any questions though, y'all got our contact info and everything, and yeah.
Okay.
Just
Well,
let
we
us
really,
know.
yeah, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your afternoon to join us. Sarah, I'm super excited for you, and we'll be working more together. Logan, just let us know if there's anything we can do to help you as you hopefully apply and work through that process, and we'll be in touch. So, okay.
All right. Thank you all.
All right.
Thanks y'all very much. Yeah.
Have a good afternoon.
Yep. Stop recording.